Greetings gamers, I'm Shootkapow and welcome back to Pikmas. Today I'm going to be taking on Pikmin 4 but with a twist. I won't be collecting Flarlic for the entire run. Now some of you might be asking what Flarlic is. Essentially, Flarlic bulbs are sort of shells of dead onions that, when absorbed into a living onion, increase the amount of Pikmin allowed on the field at a time. The starting number is 20, and for this run that's the ending number 2. This run could be full of innovations with such a small party size, or it could be a boring purple fest with a fully upgraded OG. Who knows? All I know is that this is bound to be an interesting video, so stay tuned. As always, I'm writing the script as I go through the challenge, so all of this part is being written before the run started. Go ahead and leave your guesses on whether I can win or not. I'm sure it's possible, but such a small squad size might make collecting some treasures a hassle, or even impossible until OG is upgraded or I have purples. Let's go ahead and give a quick rundown of the rules. I'm not allowed to collect any Flarlics for the entire run, leaving me with a party cap of 20 Pikmin plus OG for the whole thing, at least above ground. The win con is beating the Ancient Sirehound, so that way, instead of just collecting every possible treasure, I can actually have this video done in time. No glitches or exploits are allowed, and besides that, just go ahead and like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. The run isn't too different until after Last Frost Cavern, but I go ahead and fight the Bulborb and Terrace before doing that. No deaths. We make it to the Crackling Cauldron too, and so far, the run isn't too much different. By the end of this, we would otherwise have 40 Pikmin, but I don't think 20 is going to be that bad. It seems a lot more like a fun challenge early on, but that might all change later. I really like how this run interacts with the wild Pikmin mechanic. Having more Pikmin underground is very interesting, but considering how few there are in the late game caves, we'll have to see how it turns out. After I get out, I unlock the third terrace base and come across a little conundrum. Some of the bags may be required for progression, but end up too heavy, logging them behind purples. The onion also scared me a little, but luckily it was 20 Pikmin and no higher. On day 2, it's time to take out every cave in the Sun-Speckled Terrace. We take on Industrial Maze, then Hectic Hollows, and finish it off with Aquifer's Summit. All throughout, simple tasks definitely feel harder with less Pikmin. Building the bridge to Summit is definitely more time consuming, and I probably would have had the area cleared by now if the Fort Quillen boss fight wasn't actually challenging for once. It's actually a little surreal, but it's almost like a sort of hard mode for Pikmin 4 in a way. On day 3, it's time to head to the Blossoming Arcadia, and this is where I expect the run to get much more different. Right off the bat, I'm having to manage my Pikmin more sparingly to get everything done on time, and I find out that I won't be able to freeze the big pool of water in the middle. Actually, that might make a few areas a little more challenging, and blues might actually end up being a lot more useful in this run than usual. Our first stop is the Secluded Courtyard, where we find some blue Pikmin that will be very helpful for exploration. The Fulix is interesting with less Pikmin than usual, but nothing too dangerous. The day ends with me barely getting a bridge built as I take out the Creeping Chrysanthemum and unlock a new base, but it probably won't matter for a while since we unlock Serene Shores, where we'll be heading for day 4. There's a lot to do, and this run really makes you work to get it done all quickly. I tackle the area around the starting base first, then climb the sandcastle a bit and go to the area with the Hermit Crawmad. I open up a lot of pathways and finish the day off by unlocking the base on top of the castle. On day 5 though, there's going to be a lot of progress being made. First off, we took a dive into the engulfed castle and it was actually pretty hard. I only had 10 blues to start off with, but I luckily get more as I go through. I encountered the Wraith of Fire a couple of times because of how much tougher it was to get everything with such a small party and without OG's upgrades. However, the reward of the purple Pikmin at the end was worth it. Since these guys are going to be great for both combat and utility, fulfilling the roles of 10 Pikmin at once. These guys, needless to say, will be very valuable in a 20 Pikmin run. Afterward, I do some stuff with the blues, like getting their onion and taking a quick trip down to the C4 resort. The run's honestly been a lot of fun so far, and I'd highly recommend all of you to check it out if you can. It's a great hard mode for Pikmin 4, and I'm honestly having so much fun replaying the game this way. Before we can make it to Hero's Hideaway though, we have to rescue Bernard, which means completing 3 Dandori battles. We head to Terrace first to clean it out, and then to Blossoming Arcadia, where we also complete the Drafty Gallery and Sightless Passage. I took on the area with the Snagger, which was a little tougher with less Pikmin honestly. I head to Serene Shores on day 12 and complete the below-grade Discotheque. It's interesting with fewer Pikmin, and so is Sub-Zero Sauna. I like the time extension added to the boss fights, and again, resource management being such a core aspect of the series is heightened. I completed my 3rd Dandori battle as well, which means that after a quick night mission, it's time to head to Hero's Hideaway. The first day isn't much of anything really. I go around, take out some enemies, and collect a few raw materials, but not having as many Pikmin as I usually do really starts to impact productivity. Enemies become harder, moss was actually a problem, and even Doppelganger Zen was a lot more difficult than usual. I think I'll be able to explore more on day 15, but it's really interesting to see how the run changes as we progress. On day 15, I unlock a new base, but I also rescue Olimar, meaning we'll be able to head off to Giant's Hearth after a couple of quick night missions. We also unlock Olimar's Shipwreck Tail, which we can probably do if we end up having enough time at the end of the run. For now though, it's time for Hearth. The bull bears at the start are a little awkward, but the purples and ices got me through them okay. It was a little weird managing Pikmin for the fire starters and the stuff in the water on the way to Cradle of the Beast, but a quick trip back to the base was enough. Speaking of Cradle, I managed to get enough purples to get the meat treasure, which was kind of fun, and the Empress wasn't too bad once I cleared out the larvae. Day 18 is a lot worse though. I'm really running out of Pikmin to actually do things with. I had to take out a fiery Bulbax with just Ochi, and a giant Wallywog took a lot longer than usual. I got some stuff cleared out, but not much. I forgot to record day 19, but it was more productive. I took care of some stuff, then took on the ultimate testing range, which is a little tougher with less Pikmin like always, though a spicy spray took care of the mana legs well enough. I finished off the day by beating Louie and rescuing York, giving me access to the Primordial Thicket, bringing us that much closer to beating the run. Our first day is mostly clearing stuff out, but we also managed to take on the Primordial Thicket, and man, these late game caves are tough. I had to rely mostly on Bomb Rocks and Spicy Spray to even do anything to the Sovereign Bulbwax, and the rest of the cave was really hard. Day 22 was a little easier since the Mud Pit has wild Pikmin, and I even saved Nell, managing that next, we tackle Cavern for a king. The first few sub-levels are brutal. 20 is absolutely not enough Pikmin for a boss rush of this magnitude, so on sub-level 4, after taking on the Toxstool, the Snagrets, and whatever else was on sub-level 3, I go ahead and make a play. I use every glow seed I've gotten from night missions, which is barely enough to get me to 100. The run isn't a hard 20 Pikmin limit, remember, just no Flarlic, so I don't feel too bad about this. I didn't want to make it too easy though, and this will prevent me from having any extras for the Sire Hound, making that fight harder, and I won't be able to get any more Pikmin if I lose any. The fights are still tough, too, and I ended up resetting a fair few times. The Sire Hound was really tough, since it was much more of a hassle to remove the fur balls. All in all, definitely a super difficult final cave, but that concludes my run of Pikmin 4 with a Pikmin count of 20. I think we've still got time for more, though. Olimar's Shipwreck Tale has Flarlic too, and I'm actually curious to see if we can get. Okay, well, let me get my mic out. The reason that I'm recording in Windows Studio or whatever it's called is because for whatever reason the video decided it didn't like to be uploaded to YouTube, and apparently this is why. Uh, so I'll just give you a quick rundown of what happened in Shipwreck Tale. I got through um, got through Terrace well enough. On day 3, I got Moss as quickly as I could, and then on day 4, I headed right back and cleaned out Terrace. Then day 5, I wanted to clear out Blossom Arcadia and Terrace before going to Serene Shores so that I would have as much resources as possible to fight the Sovereign Bulblax. I beat the Sovereign Bulblax pretty easily with some spicy sprays and bomb rocks, and then I found out that the bowsprit was in that little area surrounded by water over at like the far end of Serene Shores, and it costed 30 Pikmin to lift, and I obviously couldn't have that much out, and Moss didn't get the swimming upgrade from any of the treasures, so my Shipwreck Tale was a failure, but the video itself was a lot of fun. I highly enjoyed it, and I think you guys should definitely check out the run too if you guys are interested, and if you have Pikmin 4, which you should. If you're getting Pikmin 4 for Christmas, which is coming up, this is the entire point of Pikmas, you should definitely try out this run after you like beat the game and stuff. But yeah, that was a whole lot of fun, I think. Unfortunate that the video decided to bug out, but yeah, besides that, a lot of fun. But this is Shoot Kapow, over and out.